this is Marsina. She will be our guide in this course. Let's listen as she introduces herself.
Hi, my name is Marsina. I work for an organization called Arpan. Arpan goes to various schools and teaches children about personal safety.
What is personal safety, Marsina?
Personal safety simply means learning about keeping yourself safe from unsafe situations and unsafe touches. Let me explain this further to you. I'll tell you a story about two children, Rohan and Aisha. By the way, even though this is a real story, I have changed the names of the children to protect their privacy. So Rohan and Aisha are friends. Rohan is in class 7 and Aisha is in class 8. Both go to the same tuition teacher, Dev sir. They like their tuition teacher because he teaches them well and makes learning fun by showing videos. Their parents like him too because both the children score well in their exams due to his teaching. One day, towards the end of the tuition, Dev sir showed the children a video of adults without any clothes. Both Rohan and Aisha got confused. A few minutes after the video started, Aisha managed to gather courage and tell Dev sir that she does not want to see that video. Rohan says that he is going to talk to his parents about it. Dev sir said that no one will believe them as their parents trust him. On hearing this, both Rohan and Aisha were even more scared and left. On their way home, they both said that they wanted to tell their parents. Rohan was a bit scared and worried as he felt that his parents might not believe him. They both finally decided to go and tell Aisha's parents. When they reached Aisha's home, they met her father. Aisha said that she wanted to talk to him about something but was scared to tell him about it. Aisha's father replied that she need not be afraid and can talk to him and that he will listen to her. Aisha then told her father the entire story. After listening to the children, Aisha's father told the children that he believed them and what happened was not their fault. He said that he wanted to teach them something very important, something that will help keep them safe. He said, the parts of our body that are covered with undergarments like underwear, chaddi, sameej, banyan, slip are private parts. No one is allowed to touch, look at or talk about a child's private parts. So in boys, this in the front and this in the back are private parts. And in girls, these parts in the front and this in the back are private parts. No one is allowed to touch, look at or talk about a child's private parts. It is also not okay to show videos or photos to children where private parts can be seen. So what Dev sir did with you is wrong. Looking at Aisha, he said, you did the right thing by saying no to him. In such situations, it is important to stop the person who is making you feel unsafe and get away from that place as soon as possible. He continued, I know it must have been difficult for you to talk to me. You must have felt scared after what Dev sir did to you. I am proud of you for still coming and talking to me. It is important to talk to adults about your problems or unsafe situations. They can help you. And remember, what happened with you both is not your fault. Aisha's father then spoke to Aisha's mother and Rohan's parents. And together, they spoke to the tuition teacher. They told the tuition teacher that what he did was wrong and unlawful and asked him to stop immediately. They also told him to stay away from their children. Rohan and Aisha no longer go to Dev sir for tuition. It is unsafe for someone to touch, look at or talk about our private parts except to keep them clean and healthy.
Wow, that is a lot of things to remember.
Yes, let me explain this with some examples. Imagine a boy and a girl are walking together, and the boy hits the girl on her buttocks. This situation is unsafe. It is unsafe for someone to touch our private parts except to keep them clean and healthy. Next example. A group of boys look into a girl's bathroom. Is this situation safe or unsafe?
This situation seems unsafe.
You are right. It is unsafe for someone to look at our private parts except to keep them clean and healthy. Okay, one more example. Two children are pointing at a boy's private parts and are laughing. What do you think about this one? Is this safe or unsafe?
This seems unsafe. The boy who is being laughed at must feel really hurt.
Yes, this situation is unsafe. It is unsafe for someone to talk about our private parts except to keep them clean and healthy. Okay, next example. This one can be difficult, so pay attention. A doctor is giving you an injection on your private parts in the presence of your parents. Is this situation safe or unsafe?
I think this is safe. Is that correct?
Yes, this situation is safe. Here, the doctor is trying to keep you healthy in the presence of your parents. So this situation is safe. Okay, time for a final example. Imagine a child has hurt their hand and their mother is helping them change clothes. Think with me. Is this situation safe? Since the mother is trying to keep the child clean, the situation is safe.
We should talk a little about what they could do if they find themselves in an unsafe situation.
Yes, we should. We got a hint of it in our story of Rohan and Aisha. Do you remember?
No. Remind me, please.
Okay. So Aisha and Rohan spoke about what happened with Aisha's father, right?
Yes.
And then Aisha's father said something important. He said to the children, "You did the right thing by saying no to your tuition teacher." In such situations, it is important to stop the person who is making you feel unsafe and get away from the place as soon as possible. And that is what any child who is in an unsafe situation could do. They could say no and get away from there.
You know, I can already imagine our students' response to this.
What is that?
They will say that saying no is not going to work and that they are going to hit the abuser who has made them feel unsafe.
I understand that feeling. But still, saying no and getting away is the safest option in this situation. If you hit the person, chances are that they'll hit you back, which will make you unsafe. This is why saying no and getting away is the safest option.
Who is this helping adult?
It's very simple. Helping adults are people who can help you, and they are people who stay close to you. They can be your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, or neighbors. These are people you trust, who will believe you and can help you.
What if the child tells their story to a helping adult and they do not help them?
If they go to a helping adult and the first helping adult is not helping, you can go to another adult. You could keep on doing this till you get the help you need.
You know, Marcina, it is not very easy for children to talk about this subject.
I know it's hard. It's difficult to talk to an adult about this because you may feel that they may not believe you. You may feel that they will blame you. And this can happen even more in situations when the person hurting you is a family member. I want you to know that it is okay to feel like this. But remember to keep telling an adult until you get the help you need. And also remember that what happened is not your fault. Just like in the story, Aisha and Rohan were not at fault. Similarly, it is not your fault.
Okay, I think I understand. If someone puts us in an unsafe situation, we need to say no and get away from there, and then tell a helping adult. And none of this is our fault.
Yes. Imagine you are using Facebook, Instagram, or some social media app, and your friend sends you a picture of a person not wearing any clothes. Is this safe or unsafe?
This seems unsafe to me.
You are right. It is unsafe for someone to touch, look at, or talk about our private parts except to keep them clean and healthy. If this happens to you, you could tell your online friend to stop and talk to your helping adult about this. Okay, let me give you one more example. A few months ago, you started chatting with someone online. You have never met that person in real life. They say they are the same age as you and live nearby. They now want to meet you and go to the mall to go shopping together. Should you meet them?
I don't know. What do you think?
No, you should not go meet them. Even though you have been chatting with someone online for a long time, there is no way for you to know their real age based on their internet profile. People can create fake internet profiles easily. They can also try to praise you and give you false promises. This is an unsafe situation. So you should not arrange a face-to-face meeting with someone you met online. You can also keep your helping adults informed about this. Alright, next example. You are on the internet and the person you are talking to asks you to share pictures of you without any clothes or asks you to switch on your video camera. Is that safe?
Oh my god. I cannot believe this happens in our country. That is terribly unsafe.
You are right. This is unsafe. If this happens to you, then you could absolutely say no, unfriend that person, and talk to your helping adult about it. You should remember that what happened was not your fault. You should also remember something about the internet. Once you put something on the internet, a picture, a post, a meme, or anything else, you should assume that it is out there forever. This applies to putting up your own picture, video, and location on games like PUBG and social media platforms. You should assume that if you do this, your pictures, videos, and location are out on the internet forever. Alright, my final example. Someone calls you a hurtful name on social media. You feel sad and hurt. Or they post a false rumor about you on social media. If this happens to you, you could immediately tell your helping adult, like a parent or teacher. They can help you. I'll remind you of Aisha and Rohan's story. You might recall that their tuition teacher showed them a video where people were not wearing any clothes. This is an unsafe situation. The parts of our body that are covered with undergarments like underwear, chaddi, sameej, banyan, slip are private parts. No one is allowed to touch, look at or talk about a child's private parts. So in boys, this in the front and this in the back are private parts. And in girls, these parts in the front and this in the back are private parts. Remember that it is unsafe for someone to touch, look at or talk about our private parts except to keep them clean and healthy. In our story, both Aisha and Rohan said no to the tuition teacher and got away from there. And that is the second thing I want you to remember. Even though it can be hard, you can say no and get away from there. And finally, much like Aisha and Rohan, you can go and tell a helping adult about what happened. Through all of this, you should remember that whatever happened with you is not your fault.